All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rechach Warash, Dawanish to the elders and apostles, Red Millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa, Akwathim, learning, teaching, truth, and sincerity. All right, this is going to be another video through the Spirit. All right, dealing with something that I had read earlier. And Salakia, if y'all can, the neighbors are blasting music. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but, you know, it's radiating throughout the house. You know, so I'm gonna get through this video. So, but Salakia, if there's any background noise, but yeah, just dealing with something out of First Samuel. You know, the spirit that King David had, which, you know, this is something that, hey, it doesn't matter what your position is in this truth. If you're in that position that was given to you, you know, you're going hard in the name of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai for it. Whether it be, you know, I'm gonna speak spiritually. You know, take for instance farming. You might have somebody whose job it is to feed the cattle. You might have someone's job who is to use the hoe, the shovel-like tool to break up the dirt. It might be someone's duty to use the plow. Right? No matter what that duty, you are still on your way to the kingdom. So it is great. All right, I'm going to show this example out of 1 Samuel chapter 30, and I'm going to be I'm going to start at verse 20. All right, so just to give the background. Basically, you had the men go out to war, all right, men that were with David. Now, some of the men, in total, was 600. 200 stayed behind with the, stayed at basically, let me start. This is going to be 1 Samuel chapter 30, and I'm going to start at verse, all right, so 1 Samuel 30, and I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, So David went, he and 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook of Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor. All right, so basically, you know, it was David and 600 men. They went to go pursue their enemies that had just kidnapped their sons, wives, and their goods. Now, 200 stayed behind at the brook, you know, basically at a base. You know, it says they were too faint. They just didn't have it in them to keep going. All right, but they were still of David's army. They just didn't have the physical strength anymore to keep, you know, they was tired. You know, they just got done chasing. They was ripping and running with David the whole day. All right, so only 400 went. So now we're going to come down to verse 20. And eventually David caught up with the enemies. He overtook them. All right, so we're going to keep reading. So 1 Samuel 30 and 20. And David took all the flocks and the herds, which they drave before those other cattle, and said, This is David's spoil. And David came to the 200 men, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besor. And they went forth to meet David, and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them. Hey, so David, he brought back, you know, those that stayed behind at Besor. David met with them and he saluted them, you know, in verse 21. It says, and David came, verse 22. Then answered all the wicked men and the men of Belial, or Belial, of those that went with David, and said, Because they went not with us, we will not give them aught of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Then said David, Ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which the Lord hath given us, who hath preserved us and delivered the company that came against us unto our hand. So the other men, some of the men that were with David, some of them were wicked. They said, you know what? Nah, we not going to give you niggas shit. You didn't come all the way with us. All we're going to give you back is your wives and your children. But you're not getting back any, you know, of the riches or anything else that we gain. And David said, no. David said, no, that's not right. You know, David said, these men came with us, you know, and this is what the Heavenly Father gave us. You know, so we're not about to, we ain't about to hold them like that, in other words. Verse 24, For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. They shall part alike. And it was so from that day forward, that he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. All right. And that's going to be upheld because King David was righteous. King David understood mercy because the Heavenly Father showed him mercy. He says, look, these came, you know, they was holding down the stuff. They was holding down because you can imagine, they weren't just standing there around. He told them, look, okay, if y'all gonna stay here, you're gonna hold it down, make sure the enemies don't come from behind, protect all the gear, and relaying that unto this truth. You may have a brother, he's a good speaker, the head of the camp speaking. Then you may have a brother who holds a sign, or one of the brothers that grabs precepts. Both of those brothers have the ability to make into the kingdom. And just because you're a precept grabber or just a reader and not a speaker doesn't mean you're not going to make it. All right. So, hey, a brother on the camera, his dude, he takes care of all the camera work, does all the uploading of the videos. Oh, no, brother, you can't make it, brother. All you did was hold it. No, it doesn't work like that, all right? And I'm just relaying it unto our times now when we go out to war spiritually, out there on them highways and byways. And it says that, hey, David made this a statutes and an ordinance in Israel because Jake is wicked like that. Jake a dude like that. Here it is. You had the men that helped build the weapons, that built you your armor, put your armor on you, sent you out there, bringing supplies to the battlefield, and then Jake could get the spoils and not want to bring it home, and it doesn't work like that. All right, so the Heavenly Father, y'all, he's so righteous in this time. If you've put your hand to this plow, no matter what part of the plow you put your hand to, you will receive a reward. All right, let's get this. Let's go to Psalms. What is that? 84. Hey, it doesn't matter what your position is in this, as long as you pushing in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right, you will receive your reward. Psalms 84:10. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. Come on. So, hey, you better off being if your job is to open the door for the soldiers and to close it behind them so the enemy can't come in, that is a worthy job. And that's the parable that is being relayed. I'd rather be doing the weakest, and most mundane or seeming to be small job for the Heavenly Father rather than to partake in any part of wickedness at all. All right, you're better off being a camp sign holder in the truth than the President of the United States of America. All right, and not saying you should be making use of all of your talents. If you holding a camp sign, not saying that that's the end all be all. You still got to be praying, fasting, studying, doing your videos throughout the week, but I'm just laying it out so you can understand. All right, any office of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is great and of importance because the work cannot get done without the body. All right, that's 1 Corinthians. The head needs the foot, the fingers need the eyes, the mouth needs the face. All right, let me get another one. Let me get this. Let me see. The parable of, what was it? The 11th hour. Let me see. Every man his penny. Yep, Matthew 20. And I'm going to start at, let me see. Just a basic lesson, but something I was just reading and relaying it unto the times that we're coming into now, y'all. All right. Hey, every hand that is on deck will be rewarded. The Heavenly Father, like it tells you in Hebrews, he's not unrighteous to forget our works and labor. All right. We will be rewarded for this, no matter what part of the work you were doing. Hey, there's many parts to the car. You got the tires, the engine, all right, alternator, battery, headlights, taillights. You need every part to work. All right. Well, you take out any part, and the whole bitch is fucked. All right. Matthew 20. And I'm gonna start at let me start at verse 2, then I'll jump. I'll probably start at verse 1 and 2, then I'll jump. Matthew 20 and 1. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them unto his vineyard." All right, so we understand that in the morning he hired men. When you read down, he hired men in the 3rd hour. And then when you come down some more, he hired men all the way into the 11th hour at verse 6. It says, "And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle?" All right. So even the 11th hour people got recruited, and every man was agreed to make a penny. All right. So jump down to verse 9, Matthew 29. It says, "And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal to us." which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I did do thee no wrong. Didst thou not agree with me for a penny? Take that as thine and go thy way. I will give unto this last even as unto thee. All right, and that's how it is. Here it is. The apostles been around for 30 some years, elders and apostles, and they're going to receive their salvation, Lord willing, Adonai, and they're going to receive their salvation the same way that a brother that may have only come in a year ago, all right, by way of that chariot, beaming up, being changed into the new body, all right. So it doesn't, now somebody who came in before you, they're on a different spiritual level than you, but we're all working for this penny, which is what? The salvation, all right. And no matter what part of the job you're doing, it is all needful. That's why King David, he said, hey, no, King David made that a statute. From that day, it said, the men that go out to battle is going to be rewarded the same as the men that's holding it down at the fort. All right. Because you need both. If nobody is holding down, if nobody is protecting everything, if nobody is keeping the lookout, the enemies could just simply come from behind and that's it. All right. And then just sneak up on those that went out to the battle, and now they're closed in at both sides. All right. So, hey, just a real quick video showing you the righteousness of our Heavenly Father. Hey, we're going to receive that mercy no matter if you may be one of the brothers, basically, no matter what position you are, as long as you doing this work for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you will be rewarded. All right, so I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakhakhurash, the honors to the elders and apostles and millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the like Achim. Walk, walking, learning, teaching, truth, and sincerity. I'm going to say Shalom.